Mountain. Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. Matthew chapter 17, verse 1. Thursday of the first week of Lent. Today our attention shifts as we transition from the Gospel for the first Sunday of Lent and prepare for the Gospel of the second Sunday of Lent. While we remain in the Gospel of Matthew, we shift from chapter 4 to chapter 17. Here we read of the account of the Transfiguration. The Transfiguration happens atop Mount Tabor. Why is this significant? In the Bible, mountains are an significant image. God uses mountains to reveal himself to his people. It was on Mount Ararat that Noah's ark came to rest after the flood. It was on Mount Moriah that God forged ahead with Abraham as he was tempted with Isaac. It was on Mount Sinai that God revealed himself to Moses, giving him the 10 Commandments and bestowing upon him the covenant. Biblically, mountains are seen as holy. Mountains are often the place where God appears. So when Jesus takes Peter, James, and John to the top of a mountain, we expect something to happen because of where they are going. In each mountain experience in the Bible, God reveals himself to the people. This is important. God wants to be known. God wants to reveal himself to us. Of course, sometimes it is difficult for us to find God because life isn't easy, or we fail to resist temptation, or we believe the lies of the enemy. The ultimate temptation is to believe that God is not there, that he cannot be found. Let me share a bit of my heart with you in a personal example. A few days ago, I shared that fear of failure is perhaps my strongest temptation. I mentioned that the temptation centers on being abandoned. The fear is that because I have failed, I myself am a failure. Furthermore, the temptation says to me that because I am a failure, God is disappointed in me and no longer wants to be with me. Thus, because I have failed, I have forced God to leave me, and I am now alone. The account of the Transfiguration can occasionally feel like an experience in Jesus' life that is disconnected from our lives. But what God is revealing in the Transfiguration is very personal for us. God wants to be known. God wants to reveal himself. We are never alone, for God is forever reaching out to us. Be not afraid. We will come to see how the Transfiguration has much to teach us. God wants to reveal himself to you in your temptations, in your struggles, in your suffering. He is there, revealing himself to you there. For your prayer, read Matthew 17, verses 1 to 9. Read it 3 times very slowly. What word or phrase tugs at your heart? Talk to God about how this word or phrase applies to your life. What stood out to you as you prayed? What did you find stirring in your heart?